If you've been diagnosed with lumbar hyperlordosis, it means the lower part of your back is very arched forward and your buttocks stick out a lot to the back. This video is going to help you fix it because we're going to work precisely on the muscles we need to balance that tension and restore equilibrium in your pelvis. Strengthen the abdomen, glutes and hamstrings while stretching the psoas, iliacus and quadratus lumborum. And even if all this sounds like Greek to you or it's very simple to apply, you'll only need a towel and a lot of motivation. Let's start with the first one, rolling like a ball, the star exercise to work on that lumbar hyperlordosis. Pay close attention. I want you to sit on the floor on a soft mat and hug your knees close to you with your hands clasped together. From here, what I want you to do is roll backward to the point where you end up lying on your back. But be careful, not just any rolling works. I want you to go back slowly, with control, and gradually. As you can see here, the fall was smooth, it was slow, and it was gradual. Next, I want you to push with your hands on your knees and return to the starting position slowly and with control. Yes, if you've surely tried it, you're definitely not doing it like I am. It's okay. The first few times you do it, you're going to fall straight down. You'll fall backward. You won't be able to get up. There's no problem. Everyone will work on it within their own abilities. Move as slowly as you can, but use some momentum if needed to go down and back up. That's okay too, all right? Key points. Do it slowly. Make sure your feet don't touch the ground when you return to the starting position, because that way we work to the maximum, that core. And try to swing as little as possible, okay? Keep it very controlled. Let's do 10 reps together. It's better to place your hands in front of your knees slowly, each at their own level. I fall back, rounding my lower back. Lying on my back with knees to my chest, I push with my knees, pull my arms, and gradually return to my starting position. The feet don't touch the ground. I stay up high here with good balance, chest up, and from here I go round again. Go back down and gently touch my lower back to the ground. And then I use a little bit of that momentum, but just a little, so that it's a controlled movement to return to the starting position. 2, let's do a faster one. I drop down, use the momentum, and come back. It's easier for those of you who have difficulties. 3, I let myself fall, use the momentum, come back, and up. 4. And as you can see, the lower back is extremely rounded during the exercise. Actively combating hyperlordosis. This exercise mainly targets the deep abdomen and rectus abdominis, which also helps combat hyperlordosis. 5. Let's do 5 more. Back, forward. That little rebalancing at the end is very good. 6. We don't touch the heels to the floor. Back, forward. 7. This is fun, and at the same time it's good for your health. Last 3. Back, round, and return. 8. Last 2. I fall, round, slowly, slowly, slowly. 9. Last repetition. Let's do it as slowly as possible. Very slow, very slow, very slow. Back, and I come forward, forward, forward. Perfect. Very good exercise. It may seem like a children's game, but I'm sweating from how hard I've worked. That was the first exercise to work the anterior abdominal wall. Let's go with the second one, the dead bug, another one of my favorites, where basically we're going to lie on our backs. I'm going to take advantage of this towel I have here to support my head and be more comfortable. And I'm going to bring both my arms and my legs up vertically. Pay close attention. 90 degrees of hip flexion, arms toward the ceiling. From here, I want you to focus on your legs. Stretch one leg out at a 45-degree angle and point your toes towards you. And if it's not too intense, also bring the opposite arm back 45 degrees. We return to the starting position and repeat with the opposite side. Left leg, right arm. See how the tip of your foot points toward me? Intense. We're back. We've done 1 rep. How many are we going to do? 10 in total. So we have 9 left. First the leg, then the arm. And we're back. First the leg, then the arm, and we're back. How's that? Difficult, tense. If it's too hard, we can just do the leg. And we go back, just the leg. And we go back. Where will we feel it? In the abdomen. Very intense. We've done 3. Let's do 10 together. Leg, arm. We go back, leg, arm. And I go back, come on. Let's go for the 5th one. And then we'll take a little break. And I go back, hold for a few seconds. And I go back. Very good. Let's grab those knees a little, rest. And we're going to do 5 more with breathing to strengthen that deep abdominal work. Let's go again. I inhale. Exhale through the mouth. 1. 2. Come on, let's go get them. 3. We only have 2 left. 4. Look at the tip of your foot. Trip to me. 5. Good. Grab your knees, relax, and up we go. Rolling like a boy. That's not true. It was a joke. Simply to maintain that intensity, relax your legs. Biden's movements. We breathe and move on to the next exercise. We've already worked the front part well with these first 2 exercises. Now we're going to work the gluteal muscles. Be careful. You must do it only under very specific, precise, and well-prepared conditions. Pay close attention. I want you to place a small towel under your buttocks so you can see it better. The goal of this is to have your lower back supported on the floor, or as supported as possible, okay? I want that towel to serve as support so that your lower back stays arched. I invite you now, from the starting position, to pull your belly button in. Lower your lower back as much as possible so it's touching or close to the floor. We keep our legs close with a slight gap. Let's change cameras. We've been here a while with about a fist's width apart. And from here, arms on both sides of the body. And we're going to lift the pelvis all the way up. This will help you strengthen both your glutes and hamstring area, which is also very important for pelvic balance. So we lift that pelvis up completely as high as you can. We hold the contraction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we relax. And as we do it, we rest on that towel again. And the lower back rounds down, trying to make it touch the whole floor. Let's go up again. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. In a classic bridge, watch closely to see the difference. We lift everything up fully, okay? Here, I'm focused on supporting this part of my back, articulating more in the lumbar area, and rounding as much as possible while lifting my glutes. So try to make sure that the upper back area, the dorsal area, is well supported and that it moves here so that it creates a movement opposite to the dorsal. Dosage so that the posterior area opens up at the same time as we contract. It can be difficult to do, but think about how it's not necessary to lift your buttocks too much, and when you rest, you should keep that lower back area rounded on the floor, so that it touches or gets as close as possible. Let's go with the 3rd or 4th repetition. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. It's not necessary to go all the way up, just lift until this area is supported and squeeze your glutes hard at the top. Here, as if you had a credit card between your butt cheeks and you didn't want it to fall. 5 more, and we'll move on to the next one. Let's go up. 6, let's go up, lift. 7, relax, touch down, release. And up, 8. Touch down and up. 9. Touch down. The lumbar area stays nicely rounded, pressed against the floor, using this pivot point we have on the buttocks. And then I lift the buttocks first and hold with a strong pull, and I bend. Very, very good. I hope you liked it. A great way to work the glutes without much involvement of the lower back. Now let's move to a quadruped position and do a hip extension again for that glute, but under some very special conditions. Pay attention. Let's get into a quadruped position. You know this position well, right? Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. From here, pay close attention. I want you to arch your lower back upwards, okay? I don't want you to dip it down, but rather round it. At all times, we're looking for the opposite movement to lumbar orthosis. For that, think about your belly button. Imagine you have to lift it up and round it as much as possible. From this position, contract the abdomen close to the ribs and pelvis. That's when we can perform the hip extension. Why do we do it this way? If we're in this position and do a hip extension, the lower back arches more, which we don't want. We want everything to stay very rounded at the top, and from here we lift that leg as much as you can. For example, I can only go up to here. That's enough. You don't need more. I hold the contraction and relax. The joint range is very limited because we block the pelvis, but it's very effective. No. You can detection, if you do it, a small detection, if you can detection, if you can a small detection, if do it alternately, do a small detection, but in alternation. But okay, let's do a 5 with one leg, 5 with the other, breathing, focused, trying to bring the muscle activation toward the glute. We inhale at the bottom, round my spine as much as possible, pull in, force it, and lift. 1, touch down, up, 2, touch, and up. My lower back is very rounded, 3, touch down and up. 4, pull your belly button in, last repetition next. And 5, where are we going to feel it? Especially here, not in the lower back. If you feel it in your lower back, it means your spine isn't rounding enough. I round, bring my ribs closer to my pubic bone, inhale, and as I exhale, I lift my leg as much as I can. In, 1, touch, down. 2. 3. If I lose that rounding point in my back, I get it back. 3. 4. And 5. Very good, tranquilo, but demanding. If we do it correctly, we've done an abdominal workout with those first 2 exercises, a glute workout with these next 2, and now we're going to stretch that shortened muscle group. First, the Quadratus lumborum, which is located between the lower back and the pelvis, and will always promote a hyperextension position. We'll do it once per side. It's simple, so pay attention. I want you to place one leg completely straight, and the opposite leg should be bent. And from here, your right arm goes to the outside of your left knee. The other hand goes here. And what I'm aiming for is to lift this shoulder as much as possible to open up my back as much as I can. I'll turn around so you can see it better. And so you can feel the nature of the stretch. Left leg extended, right leg bent. From here, my left hand and my right hand are placed on the outside of the extended leg. And from here, pay close attention. I open with my shoulder as much as possible. I try to bring my head closer to my knee, and I lift this shoulder up to open up all this space. Where will you feel it? Mainly in the back and the leg being stretched. But the goal is for you to focus here and try to create as much tension as possible so that the muscle is engaged here. As you progress, move your hands closer to your foot and experiment. More towards the leg, raise your shoulder higher, work on that spot to feel the tension. We'll stay there for 20 seconds. We're at 10. You can even place this hand behind your neck, open up your lumbar spine more with a lateral flexion. And 20, slowly, okay? When we finish, we return very slowly to the original position and switch sides. I stretch one leg. Again, you will feel a lot of tightness, also in the hamstrings. We place the leg bent. From here, both my hands go here to the outside. I do a lateral flexion. I try to bring my head closer to my knee, and I try to open up this area as much as possible to feel the tightness. I hold the position for 20 seconds. And every time I release, I add a little more tension to the muscles if we want to make it more intense. I raise my arm and try to open even more. Pay close attention. Open this side even more to the maximum to feel a good stretch. Again, you're also going to feel tightness back here, but don't worry. What we really want is to focus on the left Quadratus lumborum. It's good to raise this arm, then move slightly more to the side and up. 10 more seconds. Slowly, we return to the starting position. Very good. And now let's do the last psoas stretch, for which we need to get into a knight's position. For this, we're going to place one leg anchored on the floor with our knee, and the opposite leg just in front. If you're someone whose knee hurts, place a small cushion underneath it. If you lose balance, keep a chair or furniture nearby to prevent falling. Absolutely essential. From here, I'm going to move forward a little bit. What we want is to open the angle that exists between your lumbar spine and the hip, the leg, which is right down here. Because that muscle runs inside the pelvis, through here, and what we want is to increase that angle by bringing that hip into extension. So what are we going to do? Knight's position, and from here I'm going to move this foot forward a little bit. I want you to shift your weight forward so that the angle between your spine and your leg opens up. I want you to pay attention to this as well and pull your belly button in as much as possible. When you do this, it causes a backward tilt of the pelvis, which will create more tension along the outer edge of your foot. You can feel it here and a bit lower at the quadriceps. Stay very upright while pulling your belly button back. We slide a little bit forward until we start to feel tension, and then we raise the opposite arm up. My hand goes behind my neck and I look up at the ceiling. That will be decisive, and you'll feel more tightness in your right pelvic area. Be careful, even I could fall. Don't do the exercise without safety. It's extremely important that you avoid falling and that you work with total safety at home. Let's recap again. I've moved that foot forward a little bit from the beginning, just to give the movement a bit more freedom. I'm standing upright. I lean forward as if I want to bring my pelvis toward the floor. The angle between my spine and leg widens. Then I position my arm at my nape, always noticing a bit of tightness in the hip socket, and I look up to create more tightness at that level. It's important throughout the whole movement to try to keep your belly button pulled in, basically to anchor the pelvis and make the stretch greater. Let's hold for 10 seconds. One more. Great. Now repeat on the other side. I switch legs. Knight position. I move this foot forward a bit to be more comfortable, to have more freedom of movement. I bring my pelvis toward the floor. Look right here now. As the angle between my spine and my back leg starts to increase, okay, I feel a bit of tightness in my pelvis. I move my foot a little further forward. I pull my belly button in to give more stability to the spine and bring it into a posterior tilt position. Hand at the back of my neck, I lean back, look up at the ceiling, and hold for 20 seconds. The tightness has increased rapidly. I'm coming back. Very good, very good, very good. Sometimes Cinephone might show up if I feel like it. In front of the camera. With this last stretch, we've finished this brief but effective routine to combat hyperlordosis. We've worked the abdomen from the front to balance out that belly that sticks out so much, that rectus abdominis. We've also worked the hips gluteal area to restore pelvic balance. And finally, we've stretched both the quadratus lumborum and the psoas muscles, which are always very shortened in this type of condition. If you see that your lumbar lordosis is preventing you from carrying out your daily life, I recommend repeating this routine 3 to 4 times a week, doing 2 or 3 sets of each exercise. Alright? We did 10 reps after finishing. You add 10 more twice, making 3 sets. If you have lordosis along with lumbar disc disease, herniated disc, protrusion or osteoarthritis, I invite you to watch this other video that I left up there in the top right corner of the screen, where I ask you a very important question. Are you treating your disc disease correctly? A very complete video where I'm going to show you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, so you can recover as soon as possible and get back to the same quality of life you had before. That's all. I've already done my part. Now it's your turn to consistently repeat the exercises to achieve results. I hope you can share the video with those who need it. By doing so, you're sharing health, and I'm sure that some of your friends could benefit from doing these exercises. Thank you very much again for making it to the end, and I hope to see you again very soon in one of my other videos. Bye, friends.